We are back again for another episode of Double Barrel Shotgun. What happened to you, my friend? Just saw you looking over to the side there. We're here. We're live.
Oh, sorry, guy. Wait, sorry, I got distracted.
You want to try the bang bang one more time for us?
Bang, bang.
Oh boy, it's a rough start, folks. So, Yves, man, we're gonna do a recap as usual of last week's games. Big ticket, big name teams, big name stars playing. A lot of the featured games we have. Let's start with Dallas, Arizona. Boy, I tell you, I must admit, I give Dallas credit.
Ass kicking, no, ass kicking.
They were in the game for about 3 quarters.
And that was ass kicking, man. No.
It was a
No.
fair enough.
Defensive line. Listen. Calais Campbell. If people don't know anything about football, if you want to see a one-man wrecking crew who destroyed an offensive line by his dang self, you had to watch number 98. He was in the backfield all day long, shut the rundown game. Listen, I don't know what game you said. If you thought it was close.
No. Oh, I thought at halftime Dallas was still in the game.
Oh, okay.
Dallas was still in the game somewhere mid-third. It got away from them for sure. The fact is, they pretty much. I'm surprised they didn't go with this at first. They were trying to feel out Dallas at first instead of just putting everybody in the box and say, "Here, Brandon Wheaton, please beat us." I gotta hit a barn in this case here. I mean, I couldn't believe how many little slant patterns the Bryant you can even get on target.
Yeah, man.
Bryant was about to blow up, and to be honest with you, I've been hard on Bryant when it comes to that. I don't blame him for blowing up.
Yeah, I don't blame him, but I don't blame him, but I also think that a lot of things occurred on that game. First of all, again, the Cardinals defense was just, oh my gosh, they were in the backfield all game long. Secondly, I don't know what was going on in terms of the game planning. First of all, Brandon Wheaton sucks. So let's just say that plain straight. A real good point. Look, you got to have a decent backup. I don't care. Look, if Kyle Orton was there for Dallas last year, yes. He left, went to Buffalo. Sean Hill, who plays for the for the Rams, decent backup quarterback, played a little bit before Austin Davies took over. You got to have a decent backup in a situation like that. Guys who doesn't mean he's a threat to the starter, but a guy who can play when things go down. You have a guy with a bad back.
Yeah, but you see, this always comes back. I mean, we won't get into a lot of CBA issues of why we don't have a lot of good backups. Yeah. What ends up happening, you get a bunch of young guys that aren't really ready to be playing quarterback in the league, playing backups. And like back in the day, you had Frank Wright coming off the bench.
I hear you, but you still must have the foresight to have that. You have a quarterback that had a bad back last year who had surgery. You think that you would want to have a competent backup already, not Brandon Wheaton.
Well, I guess they spent all the money.
Not a 28-year-old who's a third-year player.
They spent all the money on the offensive line, so they had nothing left back for a backup quarterback.
Well. But anyway, that was a butt kicking. I guess I know I won that game. I think you chose. I chose
Arizona too.
You chose Arizona too, so we're all right on that one.
Plus, I think Dallas doesn't have much of a home field advantage. So I'm always, compared to most teams, I'm always wary of picking Dallas when they're a favorite or even equal on someone at home. Next game. Moving our way through chronologically, New England against Denver. It got a tad bit chilly, and you knew what was going to happen when that happened. Once the temperature started dropping, it's like, uh-oh.
There you go.
Here we go. I told you that last week.
Yeah, man, but wow, zers. And you know what? Belichick wanted to put 50 on their backside, guy. Man. He was going for it because did you see the end of that game? Yes. I think 3-4 minutes, they were still trying to throw.
Don't forget, Denver put a piece of beating on them in the championship game.
That's
too,
right? So didn't forget that, and Belichick. If there's anything, I'm going to say this. Listen, I shouldn't say this, but Peyton Manning's Tom Brady owns you, so you are Tom Brady's B word. All right.
Seriously, have you ever seen a player that is as great from a statistical standpoint as Peyton Manning be so easy to figure out once certain conditions are in play?
We've only been saying that for how many years, though? How many years have we been saying that, though? It's been there. The time when they won that Super Bowl against the Bears, It wasn't him that he
No.
played horrible.
Good Lord, you better thank Rex Grossman for that one.
That's right. He played terrible.
Right.
Think about that. He shouldn't have been the MVP for that game. That
No.
should have been in that game.
He
He
should
was
have been
horrible.
It should have been the running back.
It should have been the running back.
Right.
So my point is that he's been this way since college. When it comes down to it, the minute the weather starts getting a little funky,
And throwing a big game with
got
ramifications.
a big game on top of that, the pressure, the big games, and I think he knows that too, obviously,
Yeah.
for all the great statistical stuff that he does during the regular season, but it's these type of games that make it stand
Well-
out. And even to the point, other players, basically, they'll respect Peyton for everything he does during the regular season, but then when they say, who do you want, when it comes down to it, they're going to tell you, they're going to take Brady. And I'm not even a Brady guy.
Hey, well, I'm a Michigan man, so I got no issues with Brady himself. I can't stand the Patriots, but
Right.
I got no issues with Tom. But overall, I find it interesting that when he had the choice to pick which team, he essentially could pick his own team. Like, it didn't matter.
Could have gone to San Francisco.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
Got a nice climate, weather oriented.
Right. And if you remember what he said, though, one of the reasons why he stayed at Denver, he
He didn't want to face his brother. Yeah, he doesn't want to face his brother.
That
was one of the reasons.
That was one reason. But the other one, he wanted to stay in the AFC.
Correct.
Because he felt he knew the teams
It's a
better. It's like, fair
familiarity.
enough, but like,
Familiarity, guy, give me a break.
dude, how well that's worked out for you?
Exactly. So all that time, you might not even get past. You might not even get past, like, to the championship again. Because I'm sorry, now all teams are gonna figure this thing out. Because that's what I love about the NFL. They're gonna come up and figure this stuff out. Because remember what we talked about, all those little float passing stuff, those nice little trick plays, those nice little screens and stuff.
Well, the offense is one thing, but what I tell you last week, I don't trust Denver's defense, and it came to fruition. That defense, the whole Revlon team, they're a whole mascara line as far as I'm concerned. Between the quarterback right now and the defense. Yeah,
it was pretty I gotta be honest with you, I was somewhat disappointed in the way that Denver's defense played, but I gotta be honest though, the Patriots weren't playing around. They've gotten back to what they were doing fundamentally, and the offensive line has been playing a lot better. True. And Brady's been playing great.
Okay, let's wrap up the last one. Oh boy, this was a sweet one. Sunday night game of the week. Steelers Ravens. We almost had a brawl going on. It was almost.
Oh, you had Central brawl coming up, man.
see the Ratbirds. This is the reason why it's be getting just ornery with these dudes, because these dudes don't play. It's hard nose playing, and then it's Ravens playing, which is a different type of play altogether. Okay, and it's the reason why I have to have issues with these dudes all the time. Especially T Sizzle, okay? And it was sweet. I was drinking some lemonade on Sunday night. They're just enjoying the moment.
Were you drinking lemonade prior before? Because come on, you had to be a little fearful thinking what that guy can do to your backfield.
Hey, I have respect for his game. I always have concerns because I feel like all the time somehow the Steeler game plan seems to forget about him half the time when they're having their blocking schemes. You might want to pick that dude up. He only gets about 3 sacks per game on us. You might want to find him. Yeah. But they actually did a pretty decent job on him for once.
Oh, they did. Well, first of all, they did a decent job because after he did his little nonsense trying to take out taking out Blunt's knee, that changed the whole thing. As I said before, and I sent a tweet out. I said, let me tell you something. I played football for I never played pro football. But I always
some things just don't do, guy.
That's it. Like, let me tell you.
No matter what level.
Like on that level, that was the most dirtiest thing. One of the more dirty things.
Well, then you forgot Doomerville.
I think I've seen dirty football.
Right.
That was just outright. I'm saying I would chase you the whole entire game, and I'm gonna come up and pound you left, right, and center.
Well, you forgot the Doomerville thing too.
Yeah, the Doomerville thing. I didn't take that too much, but. I mean, but what he did, I thought really crossed the line.
Upshot driving the helmet in Big Ben's jaw. I mean, it was
that's old school NFL kind of thing.
That one was a bit dirty in this.
It was dirty. I didn't just.
Them dudes, and the fact that Ben was sticking it to him every chance he got, guy dropping touchdowns left, right, and center.
Yeah, it was a message being sent.
Now let me put this out here for you folks out here. You guys that like use Revlon quarterbacks to put up sweet stats, and you guys like your little fancy dudes. Okay. Let me tell you something straight, all right? You guys call all you want and get your Drew Breeses and Aaron Rodgers and all these other guys to put up sweet stats and look good for your fantasy league. But when it comes down to winning time, folks, you best get down to number 7, black and gold. I can tell you that straight right now.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, plain and simple.
Yeah, man. I mean, listen, I respect the dude. I mean, he might not be the greatest teammate. However,
well, he's good enough that the guys rally around him.
He does win. He's a hoss. He's a boss.
Them boys respect him guy because he takes
man,
licks and keeps on ticking.
You know what? I always get fascinated to think that how he is not considered as one of the top 5 quarterbacks the way that he should be distinguished, because he is.
Because he plays a style of quarterback and no one else really plays.
Right.
He's the closest thing we've seen since Elway.
Right. But the thing about it now, he has those wide receivers. They seem to have tied up. They've seemed to chain up the offensive coordinator and basically opened up the offense all of a sudden. But wasn't it just nice to see number 92 just be number 92?
Boy, welcome back.
Oh,
that's
my
all I
God.
gotta say. Welcome back.
Oh my God!
You never look right in any other uniform besides black and gold.
Guy, listen, and to see he was just it gives me chills because I love watching Harrison play.
I love when he pointed at the linesman, the back judge. Like, hey, we got right.
Yeah, he goes, that was a sack, right? Yo, that was legal, right? And so, I don't know what he was doing in the offseason when he was with Cincinnati, but man alive, he played a monster, man.
A good set of games last week, man.
And also, Mean Joe Green getting his number retired.
Yep. Cool,
big thing. Okay.
All right, so here we are for a big 3. So let's get into it. First game we have this week, a team we haven't talked about much so far this season, Dolphins versus the Lions. I think Lions are at home in this one, right?
Yes, they are.
Yeah, so in Silver Dome, Ford Field, where the heck you calling it these days. And Johnson's back. Megatron's back, isn't he?
That's correct.
Oh, okay, give me Detroit, man.
Well,
I know Miami's defense is pretty nice.
Right.
But Megatron's back, man. I'm sorry.
Well, I'll say this. This is one of those games that's pivotal for Miami to see if they're really real or not. Because Miami is, I think that they're a playoff team. I like the way that they've been playing for the last couple of weeks. This is a big game for Miami. Do I think they're going to win? I think it's going to be pretty hard to win in Detroit because, again, the D's not no joke in Detroit. And I think that Tannehill is probably going to see a lot of hits. He's going to see a lot of hits in this game. So I'm going to choose Detroit. But I think this is a real show-me game for Miami. But take Detroit on this one.
Right. Okay, cool. I think that one's a no-brainer there. So let's see. Game number 2. And we're staying in that division, Bears-Packers. You know what? I know it's supposed to be a big rivalry and stuff, but I think it's one of the most overrated rivalries.
It ain't.
I've never found one of their games compelling.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think it's a little bit. It's more hype than anything else. But it's a Midwestern thing. But that rivalry,
right, I know George Hallis and the whole.
Yeah, and whatever.
Usually one of the team's usually crappy while the other one's good.
That's always been the process.
And it's like the games aren't even that entertaining. I mean, Green Bay owns these dudes. Why do I feel it's going to change?
They're going to own them again because you have our version here. Or you have this generation version of Jeff George, who is called AKA Jay Cutler. So he's going to throw away the game. So, and right now they're ready for self-implosion. I think that he is the reason why they're losing this year. That's my honest opinion. And I think Green Bay's going to do what they do.
I agree. I don't even think there's much to discuss in this game. I think right now, I wouldn't be surprised after this game you start talking about the backup getting back.
Straightforward.
Yeah, I think this is the last game you might see from Jay Cutler.
And I think if that head coach wants to have the respect of his team,
how are they going to move him?
They can't because they signed him to a stupid contract. And the thing is, nobody ain't gonna trade for that dude.
Not 30-some-odd years old playing like that.
Man. And the guy, the guy has not improved since. Like the guy hasn't. After he left Denver, I thought it was because of a lack of talent, and but the guy it's just not in his head, man. Something's up with the dude. No, it's Jeff George, man. It's bad.
It is. Last game. This one here I think is going to be a lot of fun because right now pretty much this is one of these classic loser go home type of matches. New Orleans has been on razor's edge for the whole season, just hanging on, for life. And luckily they're in right now a very mediocre division. That's the only thing that's got them in playoff discussion right now. They probably win the division probably 9-7 probably or something like that.
Right.
But they play the 49ers, who, I don't feel for the 49ers or any team, but boy, I tell you, they're the Oklahoma City Thunder of football. I mean, every time you turn around, there's another injury going on, left, right, and center. So, I mean, it's a great time, in this case, for the coach to walk out at the end of the season.
I think it's gonna happen.
Everyone can leave looking clean when it's all said and done.
Well, I think that I think he's done.
Well,
Unless they make it to the Super Bowl and win it,
yeah.
I think he's done.
That's it. I do like him in this game, though. I don't know. I don't trust the Saints, man. I know the Saints are at home.
Right.
So that's the part that makes it.
That's probably the best part of it.
Yeah. I just feel like every time you want to put your hope in the Saints is like something, I know that San Francisco's going to probably get some guys back this week. Part of me says I just feel like San Francisco's just got a toughness about them. They're resilient. I just have a feeling they're going to pull off a win when you least expect it. I think this is the week.
Oh man,
I know.
I don't know, man. Because
I'm gonna take my chances, man.
I hear you because, I still think they have such an identity crisis problem. They're trying to debate if they're a running team or they're a passing team. Personally, they're supposed to be a running team, and that's what I think you need to be your bread and butter. You need to be using that running game and that offensive line. They tried to do all that little fancy passing last week against St. Louis, and that line gave up 8 sacks.
Yeah.
And that's with a mobile quarterback.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So
that's terrible stuff. So I think there has to be a reassessment on the offensive side of the ball because I don't think the defense is. Listen, the defense only gave up 13 points.
Exactly.
It wasn't the defense's fault. So that was all on Kaepernick and the boys.
That same Rams offense dropped 20-something on Seattle. So
you know what I mean. But the thing about it is that I'm not going to discount what the Rams did there because they seem to pick up their defensive line.
The Rams play hard, man.
Right. So, but the thing about it, when it comes back to this game, though, I'm probably gonna choose the Saints. For me. So that's it.
Sorry, folks. I heard something, so it jumped me. Man, a strange podcast, man. There's a lot of stuff going on. So, cool. So I think right now this week. So you have right now. We both have Detroit. We
Correct.
both have Green Bay. I think those are easy ones to me, at least I feel so. And I think we split on the last one. You take the Saints, and I'm going to go with San Francisco on that one. So we'll see how it all plays out.
Okay.
So here we go. So this week in the NFL topic of the week, AP has pretty much did a plea bargain, and he will be back ready to be available, I guess, this Sunday.
Because they're on the bye this week.
Oh, it's the bye this week, but essentially he's back.
Basically, yeah. They got a big problem on their hands there. How are they going to deal with the situation? Because the NFL can't be coming up and trying to think they can't be making up a punishment on this dude. It's collectively bargained.
Exactly.
So
honestly, the way I see this, to me, this is the cleanest one for the NFL.
Easy.
Because right now he went to the judicial process.
Correct.
It's been done. He's been dealt with. He's already lost time already.
Correct.
So he's
and he got paid though. He got paid.
Well,
he got paid legally the way he was supposed to get paid.
So now, are you going to be now? This is where things get awkward.
It's tough, but the NFL has no choice. But they have no choice unless. Listen, here's the juxtaposition of the whole situation. Very simple. If Minnesota don't want him, they got to release him. Right. All right? If they release him, then some team's going to probably want him. Gonna have to pay him a whole lot of money because they have to pay the rest of the contract, right? Now, unless they decide to release him and nobody picks him up, oh my goodness gracious, you're gonna have another evil situation just like that with how that Ray Rice situation.
Goodell was just.
It's gonna be the exact same thing.
Well, you got when there collusion's involved in this game.
That's correct because people right away you don't think, especially with that greasy lawyer he has, Rusty Hardin.
He's one of the 5 best players in the game.
Come on, man. So there's no way. They got to play him. They have no choice. They have to play him. I mean, what the organization going to do? They're going to come up and keep trying to suspend him?
To be honest with you, here's my thing. I think overall, if I'm Minnesota, I'm not even fearing the state of Minnesota having a backlash because, heck, we saw AP jerseys running around the place when we were in Buffalo.
Right.
And they're all in the stadiums. So I don't think... If they're concerned from that standpoint, I don't think they'd be that concerned. Now the backlash is more outside of it.
Correct.
Like the women's groups and stuff of that, or in this case the kids groups or wherever the case may be. Which I don't know what you can do in this case. I mean, he's already been suspended. He already did decide to go a plea. If he's done his, technically, I guess he's done his time.
Right. He's doing 80 hours of community service.
Right. I think in this case,
that's a
he
charge.
should be able to do his livelihood. Now, if you choose to take that up on your team, that's up to you. And if I'm Minnesota, who's kind of like in the periphery of a playoff spot.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know about that.
Well, what is it, 4 and 5 or something?
Nah, well, they're
Hold on.
What is it? They're
Hold
3.
on. I don't think their record is, because they won last week again against Washington. Hold on.
Let's confirm that.
Yeah, because if they won Minnesota, I think they'd be over 500. If they beat Buffalo, we watched, they'd be over 500.
Hold on, let's see. I'll check it out real quick. That's me going on the side right here. Let's look at this here. They are 4 and 5. They are 4 and 5.
4 and 5. They win 5 and 4. They win Buffalo. That's what I'm saying. They're not that far away. So
I don't know, man. I'm gonna see how this plays out because I find this very, very.
I think he's gonna play.
Oh, I think he has no choice but to play.
Well, he wants to play. We know that, but the Vikings are gonna play him.
Because let's put it this way. I mean, people might have an outrage on the outside and might have some guys on the inside about the whole matter. Mm-hmm. But you know what? Again, that's Adrian Peterson. You ain't just gonna not let that guy. That's Haas right there.
Well, unless they're gonna trade him sometime during this bye week.
Well, isn't the trading deadline just passed?
Oh, jeez, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, trading deadline just passed.
They're gonna play him, man. They're gonna play him.
Yeah, they're gonna play him.
Oh, side note, Judge, is this enough Viking stock for you? Just wondering. He's giving me grief last week about that. He said more Viking stock.
The fact about it, Judd can't go nowhere too tough either.
He don't want to talk this Vikings type of talk.
Oh man. Oh,
I am curious from a purely football standpoint. I'm curious to see the combination of Bridgewater Peterson.
Oh, it would be. I think
it would be
phenomenal.
Curious to see what that looks like.
But I'm gonna say this though. Okay, on a separate note though, I gotta say, Bridgewater, played Robert Griffin III, and Yves. Everybody acknowledges that. Listen, you see how Bridgewater played? That's what Griffin should be doing.
Well, yeah, I
know it's a little bit. I know that Griffin is more dynamic and stuff, but this kid knew how to use the pocket.
Yeah.
He knew how to work the angles, and he had footwork to do the job. Because he's the one that won that game for them last week.
True.
And like Griffin, listen.
Well, first thing, let's put it this way: Washington defense blew it. Okay, you had the lead. Okay, against Minnesota, you got to put away the game. Okay, against a rookie quarterback, you got to put away the game. That's just fact. Now, I'm not saying Griffin's judgment in this case is not something that needs to be looked at because he's making some decisions like, really, when he should be running, he isn't running. When he should be throwing or getting rid of the ball, he's not doing that.
It's not accurate either, dude.
No. And I think with him, this is the classic example of two things. One, pride in this case here for him, and it's not surprising if you're a real talented guy in this case and always been successful. That's hard to swallow it. But the other thing too is when you always see this, especially in football, when guys get gunshot after they've been injured, especially guys that have never been injured before.
Well, he was injured in college too.
Yeah, but I talk about big time injury like this, right? And when they put him back out there when he really had no business playing,
right?
He's never been the same since that playoff game, and that's the fact is when you have that in the back of your mind, you're never going to be right, and that's the problem. I think, to be honest with you, I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm really wondering if he'll ever have the right psyche ever again because you have to have a certain fearlessness to play the way he plays,
right?
And he doesn't have that right now, man.
Well, I'm going by the. I'm not taking all the personal thing of how I feel about him. I'm going to take that aside. Now, I think that there's tape to prove certain things fundamentally that he is and what he is and what he is not. To me, if you ask him to run a straight line from to get downfield speed wise, no problem. Definitely one of the talented guys. But I really don't know if he has that sixth sense innate ability to jiggle out to know how to move around and avoid hits because dude, he looks like a crash test dummy when he gets.
Yeah,
it's crazy, man.
And that's the thing.
And you can't teach that. But I'm just saying he doesn't seem to have that wiggle to know how to avoid hits and things. It's tremendous, man.
And I think that's the thing where I'm part about what I thought was is that sense of aura of invincibility when you feel like when you've gotten away play like that, you always pop back up. And then when you take an injury after you got popped like that, pretty much running in this case here, but after that you start feeling the hits more and more. It starts to mess with your head a lot more, and you get the happy feet. You know, we all seen it with quarterbacks. And all of a sudden,
but he has happy feet, but he still, even with his happy feet runs him into a lot of licks.
Licks, right. I don't know if you're right. He seems like he doesn't have a pocket awareness. Now, let's be fair. This is game 1 back from 6 weeks out. So we'll see.
That might know, but you know what? It's tough because look, the reason why I'm a little bit more critical on this one, because you had a third-year guy. I know he's been injured a majority of games, but the record is what it is now. The guy's 4 games under 500 since he started in the league, right? And you compare it with Bridgewater, and I gotta be honest with you, North Turner called a good game. Let the kid do his thing. It wasn't like they were pity patting him.
Nope.
They let him do his thing,
right?
And you know what I mean. And that shows there has to be a maturation that has been impressed. Like you always heard impressive things about Bridgewater, but to me, to know that to see him play the way that he played, I'm thinking, man, that's what Griffin should be up to.
But you gotta remember too, right?
It's 2 different types of
They came out of 2 different systems, right? Technically, Louisville's playing a system that NFL teams are playing now,
right?
So he didn't have that much adjustment to make.
Okay, but then that comes up to coaching, right? Then a little aspect of it comes up to coaching.
Right.
If you have talent, because as you can see, listen, I like Cam Newton as a quarterback. I'm not the most fan of all his antics and all some of the other stuff, but you know what thing has progressed over the years? You could see Newton has improved as a quarterback. Now, mind you, he's been dinged up and winged, but he's probably realized, you know what, I can't take them licks
off.
But
Cam doesn't really run as much as he
right, because, well, first of all, he has a busted ankle.
Yeah, but I think each year, I'd be curious to see what his rushing numbers are from year to year. I bet you they're going down.
Oh, I think he's probably gone down slightly this year.
Yeah, because he's picking his spots when to run. He doesn't really just take off and run.
Correct. And this comes again to the whole progression thing, because playing quarterback is requiring not just only one progression, one guy, and then you run. No, you got to go through your progressions. Of course, you need to have confidence in your lines, but you also have to understand how to do your things correctly. And that, again, comes to me of basic fundamentals of coaching of the offense.
All right, well, let's get back to it, because that was an AP discussion. We got the RG3.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
So we'll have to discuss RG3 another day, because I'm sure we're going to have a few more opportunities.
The AP needs to be back. Free AP.
Okay. Fantasy Insider, who you have this week?
Okay, Fantasy Insider, who do I got this week? I basically have, you see here, I know that in terms of quarterbacking wise.
Yeah, Mr. Hill.
Yeah, man. So for quarterback wise, I have who?
Quarterback, you have Big Ben, man.
I have Big Ben, yeah, man, because they're facing the New York Jets, right?
Yeah, everyone's getting on the Big Ben bandwagon these days.
Well, you might as well get on it while he's hot. And I think he's going to be hot. I think he's probably going to throw about 325. I'm probably even selling him short. 325. I think 4 TDs because the defense isn't that good. I think Rex will have a little bit of a game plan for him, but I just think because of the offense, and plus they don't have no cornerbacks in New York.
I'm about to figure out what's his game plan. I don't know.
Yeah, man, I don't know.
What's his game plan?
Because I don't know who they're going to trot out because I think they just lost Geno Smith. I think figuratively and mentally, I think that kid's gone now. That whole Michael Vick experience. It's a wrap, folks. He's just collecting a paycheck. Yep. So let's call it for what it is in that one. What's the second guy? What's the next?
We had, of course, a guy called Calvin Johnson, otherwise known as Megatron.
Yeah, man. He's coming back. He's back. Megatron is back. I'm expecting. He said that he's feeling better than he's ever felt all season long.
I think he needed a rest, actually.
Yeah, I think so. I think
this actually worked out better for Detroit.
Yeah, but I basically have him. I think I have him for like 8 catches for like almost 170 yards.
Yeah, 175, 2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns. I think he's going to eat those boys a lot. And Miami's a good defense.
Yeah, they got some good young DBs there, man.
They got some young DBs, but I think he's going to be itching to do his thing.
Yep.
And the third guy, who do I got?
Jeremy Hill, 24 carries for 135, 2 touchdowns versus the Browns.
Okay, he's a Cincinnati. He's the boy that runs for Cincinnati, the former LSU boy. He did a great job covering for Gio Bernard. He's a big kid, but he got some speed on him too. So
this is another one, pretty much win or go home type of game too.
Yeah, man, Cincinnati and Cleveland. That's Thursday night. I think that's night. So, but I think you're going to see a lot of big things out of Jeremy Hill tomorrow night. and I got him doing some big things, running it for at least 130 yards and probably a couple scores.
All right, cool. So, all right, man, we're gonna wrap it up. We're a little over today, but Yves, where can the good folks find you, man?
Folks can find me at Y Charlem. So hit me up, Jay Glazer, Mike Silver, Mike Freeman, Robert Littell. Come on, give a brother some love, man. We're trying to do our things, please. And also all you other people, hit us up, comments.
Yeah, what he said. You can find me at Beyond Locker Room, short form RM. You know what? Hey, man, always a pleasure. It was a fun time, and hey, we'll talk to you guys next week.
All right, bang, bang, out.